What is going on, guys? Grave here. Today we're going to talk tanks in Battlefield 1. I know a lot of people are mixed opinions on the tanks. Some say they're fine, some say they're overpowered, some say buff them, nerf them. You know, it's just kind of a mixed bag, kind of all over the place with people's opinions. I'm going to give you my guys' thoughts about what I think of tanks in Battlefield. So we'll start with this. First of all, as I've said before, this is World War I. Tanks were supposed to be scary. Tanks were supposed to be strong. Tanks were something kind of a new, inventive thing into war. So they were a scary, scary thing to see on the battlefield. So that's kind of the aspect that the game was going with. So, I mean, that's understandable that they are strong. They are slow. I mean, they're a lot slower than any other Battlefield game. If you've ever played any Battlefield games before, these tanks are a lot slower, a lot harder to maneuver. So when you get into fights with other tanks, it's not quite as agile and quick and sneaky as it was with some other past installments of the Battlefield series. The thing that I will say about it is I really enjoyed tank gameplay before Battlefield 3. As most of you know, I've been a long time Battlefield player, have played every single Battlefield ever made, and I was a big fan of especially the tanks like Bad Company 1 and 2, Battlefield 2, things like that. More in Battlefield 3 and 4, I was not a big fan of vehicles, and I still, in a whole, I've always been more of an infantry-style player, but especially over the past several years, I've not really played a lot in tanks. And saying that, I kind of know what I'm doing in a tank. No pro tank driver or anything like that, but these tanks are somewhat easy to use because they are very strong, and I think the larger tanks like I'm in now, the more people you have in it, the easier it is to use, because if you don't have gunners and things like that on with you, it's kind of hard to use these larger tanks, because when you're in your first person view, your field of view left to right, you can't rotate all the way around, like a turret that rotates all the way around like the light tank. The light tank you can rotate all the way around, and I think the larger tanks are probably good where they're at. They are strong, but they are slow. Like I said, they're easier to destroy if you have a group of people running assault actually doing what they're supposed to do. You can knock one of these out pretty quick. In saying that, though, I think it is easy, like I said, for people to just hop in and kind of use them because they are strong. But in past Battlefield installments, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, as most of you can remember, if you ever used a tank, so there could be people real close to you. They could run up close enough to the barrel where you'd be shooting their feet right in front of you, real close, and you wouldn't even get a hit marker, or you would get a hit marker, but a lot of times you would not get a kill. I had that issue a lot. I know a lot of people that I've played with in the past have had the same issue with tanks. And I think one reason that these seem so strong is because the hit markers are pretty much on point. Now, there are times, you can see in this video, when I shoot some people that should be probably dead and they're not, kind of like that shot right there. But, it's kind of a thing I think that has been fixed a lot. The hit marker is right compared to Battlefield 3 and 4. I don't know if it's a lot of people's mindset that Battlefield 3 and 4's tanks do not get a lot of kills a lot of times when you should, and that's what makes it seem overpowered compared to past Battlefield games. I will say, though, I think that the light tank definitely needs a little bit of a nerf. The light tank is very strong. Of course, it is a one-person tank. It is easy to maneuver. It's small. It's a little more agile than the larger tanks. You can take on the larger tanks with it very easily. And like I said before, the turret rotates 360 degrees. So it makes that tank very, very strong. The difference with that tank also is, depending on what loadout you run, you can use a shell besides, your main shell. It's pretty much for infantry. It's like a shotgun shell, almost like a buckshot shell. And of course, that has been in past Battlefield installments. If you've ever used a tank before, you've probably seen this kind of attachment you can put on your tank. The light tank's shell for the shotgun style spread shell is very, very strong and has a lot of range on it. Where the larger tank that I'm in now, you can't really see that distance with it. You can't hit people at really, really long ranges. So I think that's probably what needs to be nerfed with the light tank. I think all in all the tanks are probably balanced besides that light tank. I think the light tank needs a little bit of a nerf. But like I said, guys, it is very easy to get rid of these tanks anyway if you get a good group running assault and running it correctly. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think, guys. The tank's good, bad, ugly. You hate them, you love them, whatnot. Anyway, guys, leave me a comment and let me know. Of course, if you like the video, hit the like, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.